When Bob Iger and Bob Chapek started talking about Disney Plus, they talked about it like it was the future of the company. Now it seems that Disney Plus is the albatross around the neck of the Disney Corporation. They've thrown out all the stops to try to make it seem profitable, including canceling entire shows and moving them into the film category to try to reduce the budget on the books. Another step was adding Disney's ad-based platform in order to try to monetize every single view on the streamer. Well, now it seems that advertisers were told just how many views shows were going to get on Disney Plus, and Disney is allegedly missing those targets, forcing them to either refund money or compensate advertisers in other ways. Let's talk about Disney Plus here on That Park Place. Hugh Johnston just did a investors conference for UBS, I want to say, not USB, but UBS. And Culture, you like to follow things like that. Did you happen to catch his 40 minutes of commentary on the Disney company?
I did not.
He's very excited to be at Disney. I'll tell you that.
Wait, really?
Yes. And he talked about how Bob Iger fixed the content problem over there. It's one of the first things he did. So programs like Shogun are an indication that he fixed the content problem. Do you see any reason why that doesn't quite jive there?
I'm pretty sure that was a Chapek thing from Hulu / from FX, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, there were no changes to Shogun that were made after Bob Iger.
I would also say that Bob had nothing to do with Inside Out 2, and maybe he did, but he definitely didn't have anything to do with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Considering how much of Inside Out 2 was made and sanitized by Pete Docter and the head as the head of Pixar, I think he had a lot to do with Inside Out 2, and I don't consider that a compliment. I think that Pixar, fighting for their lives, made something that is technically part of the brand of Inside Out 2, and that's why that thing is at $1.5 billion.
Billions.
There's a different problem on Disney's hands these days. The future of the company is Disney Plus. I've heard that the future of the company is Disney Plus. And Disney Plus is going to be profitable. How? Well, first of all, by making sure that they don't actually pay for any of their content. That's why you have things like The Mandalorian and Grogu, no longer a TV show. Take that out of the Disney Plus budget. We're going to make it into a movie because nobody cares if you spend $500 million to $600 million on a movie. By the way, that's how much Force Awakens cost. That's how much Rise of Skywalker cost. Nobody gives them any trouble over that. Nobody cares if you spend 100 to 200 million on marketing those films, but $200 million on the Disney Plus budget for a season of Andor. Well, people can find out that information and verify that information. So the other problem is people have to watch that content if you're trying to go to an ad-supported model, which brings us to this story from Marvin Montanaro here. Disney Plus advertisers abandon ship as Star Wars and Marvel shows underperform. We'll be hearing more about Skeleton Crew. Valiant's got a video on Skeleton Crew that's going to be coming out. Spoiler alert, it's not doing very well numbers-wise. Disney Plus is facing significant challenges as advertisers reportedly pull their campaigns from the platform. The streaming service's original content has failed to meet the impression thresholds outlined in ad contracts, creating dissatisfaction among advertisers. Who here knows how an ad contract works?
Well, I would assume that if you're an advertiser, that you do a deal like, let's say, with Disney for Disney Plus, right? And you say, hey, look, listen, if we are going to advertise our content on your platform, then we need to meet certain thresholds that we are going to be paying for as part of this whole contract. Am I? Correct?
Yeah, exactly. Even though they're saying, hey, pay for this, be on our platform, here's our hot show, here you go, there will be guaranteed minimums in all of those contracts.
Right.
Well, and
I don't know if you guys know this, but nobody watches Disney Plus.
Right. Yeah, but with Disney, you also have like all these other platforms that you're tied into as well.
Well, you can access them all through Disney Plus. So here are the basic details here. And Marvin, you can jump in if you like here to hit the bullet points on this, because you wrote this write-up here for for Valiant's video. KMG appeared with Valiant Renegade, and KMG has an amazing amount of knowledge of how advertising works. He's an excellent source, and I love to work with him.
Yeah.
The issue came to light in a recent video by the Valiant Renegade YouTube channel. Valiant, joined by Kiss My Grits, we like to call him Grits, an advertising professional speaking anonymously, provided insight into Disney's struggles. Basically, what is happening with Disney Plus is Disney Plus is struggling right now to fulfill the obligations that it's promising to its advertisers, citing contacts in New York. And what I mean by that is whenever you agree to advertise on a platform like Disney Plus, you are always guaranteed a certain amount of impressions. Disney Plus is struggling to fulfill the obligations that they have been promising, so they're under-delivering by vast amounts on several of the campaigns that are running on that platform. And as a result of what is happening is the advertisers are obviously not very happy. So they're pulling money from those campaigns. They're saying, all right, you're not meeting the delivery you promised me. I'm placing that money elsewhere. You know where that money is going, by the way? Where are all the eyeballs right now? It's
YouTube.
Well, that's another big red one. Netflix.
Oh,
half of all signups on Netflix are ad-based.
Yeah, well, they're doing really well, and Netflix actually has a lot to offer. So you're choosing from this giant catalog and not this sad and tired thing that Disney offers and some very low effort shows. But no, but YouTube actually, I've been watching a huge switch for most of these advertisers from linear television to YouTube. So YouTube's growing faster than any of these streamers, and or even linear's falling apart. So yeah, at least according to Group M and all their estimates, by 2029, YouTube will be so dominant it'll be ridiculous.
Well, another thing I want to point out here, if you look at the latest chart here, right now, this is the streaming originals chart. So this is not everything across the board. But when you look at the streaming originals chart, Disney is not on this list for television. Let's see here. They're also not on the list for originals, other than the Nutcrackers. Sorry, is that starring Ben Stiller? But even at the top of this list here, Our Little Secret over on Netflix, 1 billion estimated minutes watched. If you look at this streaming originals, which includes things that we have talked about on this channel, there's nothing Disney here, but you do see Paramount Plus. That is a company that just got bought out because they were doing so poorly in every aspect, and they're here on this list 4 times. Paramount Plus is considered a failure as a streaming platform, and they are outclassing things that Disney is spending $200 million to make.
It really does speak to just how incompetently Disney Plus has been run here. It really is profound. I want to go ahead and incorporate this story just for a second right now. We'll probably have more coverage on this at a later date. But Disney Plus now rolling out to Walt Disney World Resort Hotel TVs this December 9th, 2024. Now, it's not going to be free. You just can access Disney Plus from those TVs in said resorts. But think about that integration right there. Disney Plus has been around for 5 years at this point, and they're just now getting to the point where you can just sign into your account on Walt Disney World property. I mean, they could have very well.
They're opening up problems here. This is the same problem that they had like up until about 5 years ago when I made them aware of it. That anybody using the business center was basically being exposed by Disney because they didn't bother to delete the cache, the history, or anything else from anybody else. So when somebody entered anything, including like confidential sites for their corporations or anything, people literally could just go back through and get that data. They were literally opening up all kinds of problems, and just in their business centers. So now they're just rolling this out to their TV. I'm just not surprised. They're so far behind technology-wise and everything else.
Right. I've been trying to talk for the last 5 minutes and didn't realize I was muted. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh. I was wondering what you were up to there.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
So yeah, Disney has had the ability to cast from your phone, cast your Disney Plus from your phone to the resort TV. The problem is it doesn't work. Multiple Disney resorts that I have stayed in has had the exact same problem. You go to cast your service to the TV, and eventually it stops working, and it immediately starts playing the Josh D'Amaro welcome video. So like you're already frustrated because you can't watch a thing you want to watch, and then all of a sudden it's, hi, I'm Josh. I'm like, ah!
Well, look, I'm staying at a Marriott right now, and you could log into Netflix, you can log into YouTube on these TVs right here, and that's been in place for, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. But Disney couldn't take its streaming platform, which they've invested every single thing that they possibly can into this streaming platform, and they couldn't incorporate it on its biggest resort, a flagship property, that being Walt Disney World Resort. And apparently, according to this article, it's a gradual rollout. So, we'll get around to getting all those resort hotels in as quickly as possible. They could have incorporated this day one as a 2019 experience when the platform actually debuted, and have a promotional offer. Hey, look, you get 30 days for free or whatever if you sign up here on Walt Disney World Resort property. They could have done all of this stuff, and yet they don't. So no surprise that the content that they actually deliver on said platform isn't engaging with the audience, and obviously not fulfilling the minimums for advertisers. Now, didn't Bob Iger say that 30% of Disney Plus subscribers were part of the ad-based tier? Is that right?
Yep. And they're not hitting their numbers on that ad-based tier, or people are not watching, which is, you have to have people watching in order to be effective on advertising, which is why Hulu is successful and Disney is not. Another aspect of this story, and we're going to need to wrap up very quickly here because I want to hit the super chats. And also we're going to be headed over to the Pro Show. The Hulu audience that they've integrated into Disney Plus is not watching any of that Disney Plus content. And the Disney Plus people are not watching the Hulu content. ESPN Plus, which has now been added into Disney Plus. By the way, don't fall for it. If you've got ESPN elsewhere, they just want to put your location data into the Disney Plus app so they have even more information about you. What they're trying to do is they're trying to create a cable-like situation where if you wanted to cancel cable, you got to disappoint the kids because Disney Channel won't be there. Oh, you got to disappoint the sports fans because you'll be losing ESPN. They're trying to widen the stance so that you don't say, oh, well, there's not any more Bluey, or we've got Bluey on DVD. Well, we can cancel this now. Or that you don't look at all that Disney Plus content that isn't showing up. They got one big show this month, and it's Skeleton Crew. So nobody's watching that. This is something where Disney is trying really hard to recreate cable directly from themselves, and I don't think this is going to work.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.